my name is Carla Guseilo, and I teach pottery at the Valley Art Center. I'm primarily a hand builder, and I like to experiment with a lot of different textures and go between texture and smooth items. I would like to show you a few of the ways I texture my clay. Previously in my work, I chose to have completely smooth surfaces on my vessels, projects, on whatever I was making. I wanted my visual clues of making to be the seams or the attachments as a few accents. Slowly I have evolved to wanting textures in my work. I will use everyday objects around me to use as textures. So I have used my cutting board, boot tray in my hallway. I like the textures on shelf liners. Some are plastic, some are rubber kind of material. And I've also made impressions from sewer grates, the sidewalk, transition in town, and many other things around my house. I will use a variety of ways to transfer the texture onto the clay. In choosing which way I will put it on the clay, I need to know the piece I'm making, and I use templates so I can know my clay size and the texture that I will put on there. The first example will be with a heavy roll of a texture onto the clay. The one pass of the rolling pin is important as to not distort the image. The piece of clay should be larger than the anticipated cutout section so you can place your template in the design. Here I will place my textured shelf paper on the clay. Take one heavy roll onto the clay. Remove my shelf paper. Have my texture, and then be able to decide where I want my template placed according to the texture. My second texture will be with rollers with texture and stamps that I have made. Rollers can be purchased in multiple designs or can be made in many ways. This is corrugated cardboard on a roller. And I also make stamps out of clay and taking impressions off different things. I will show you the rolled texture. This is one I have made. And I'll do some accents with a clay stamp. There's the clay stamp. Here is the clay. My last example will be from a texture plate I have created from a sidewalk transition from sidewalk to the street. I have bisque fired this clay and will now transfer this pattern onto clay. Cornstarch is an excellent media to use to make sure the clay will not stick to the bisque. In this instance, using a roller would distort the image. So I will use a sandbag that I have made to push the clay into the texture. Press it down. Use a heavy hand to press that clay into the bisque. sure you reach all areas and into the deeper impressions. And then remove the clay. And there's the impression. And this could also be fired to have the exact opposite of your first plate.